LVMH is no longer the king of luxury. Hermes has usurped their position as the most valuable stock in the sector. Analysts say economic uncertainty and trade tensions are contributing to their 3% drop in sales last quarter. But it's not just Louis Vuitton. Luxury retailers as a whole are not performing well this month, with demand concerns swirling. And Jerry, you had a good thesis that I want you to share with us in response to this during the break. My feeling has just been that people spent the last 5 years, and they're nervous about things. They're finally pulling back. It's long overdue. But I loved what you had to say as well.
Well, I was looking through the numbers, the detailed numbers, and this would fit with the general picture. They report a big decline in Asia, in sales in Asia. I was told a few years ago by the head of a rival company, a very big rival company, that they, even then, a few years ago, got basically 2/3 of this was another luxury goods company. 2/3 of their total sales were Chinese, either a third from actually mainland China itself, and a third from stores outside mainland China, but were bought by visiting Chinese or by Chinese nationals. So, and they did say, I think I saw in the numbers they reported a bigger than 10% decline in Asia sales ex-Japan. It shows, by the way, just back to our sort of our broader discussion about the global economy, the pressures that China is under. The Chinese economy has been hit really hard in the course of the last year. You've talked about this many times, and it's going to get hit harder by these tariffs. So while, as you well know, I'm a deep skeptic about the effect of tariffs on the US economy, and I worry about that, there's also no question, no one wins in a trade war, and China could be hit really hard. And we're seeing, and that I think is partly reflected in these results you're seeing from LVMH.
And even here, because in LVMH's numbers, this was through March, wealthy Americans were still spending on luxury brands through March, so it will impact here. And there was a phenomenon when the yen was weak. There were a lot of people actually traveling to Japan to get big discounts on the Louis Vuitton handbags, and they closed the gap. They raised the prices in Japan, and so that kind of went away. And with the hike in prices, so did the demand.
Yeah.
And sales. But I think Louis Vuitton as a brand and their other brands is tired. It's been overconsumed, and shoppers move on.
I do like the French accent, though, Dagan. It's very...
I don't speak.
I wasn't sure if you were having a seizure for a moment or if it was a French accent. Yeah.
Je ne parle pas français. I don't speak it. I just
Vive
try
la
to pronounce
France.
it.
You're very quiet.
Well, I can't pronounce 2/3 of whatever brands LVMH owns. People fly to Japan to buy a handbag.
Tiffany.
They have Tiffany, yeah.
Tiffany I can pronounce. That one I can do. Lydia, bail me out on this, because I wouldn't fly to Newark to get anything.
Well, you might get a fake one in Newark.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
You need a real ID, so you wouldn't be able to go anyway. So, yeah.
I do think it's interesting that it's Hermes that has overtaken LVMH. I mean, for the good reasons that we talked about. Maybe LVMH is tired. They've been focusing on more of like the middle to lower tier consumer, I think. Yeah, Hermes, we got to talk about those bags. I mean, you got to take out a mortgage basically to buy one. At least I would. I mean, they're like $10,000 or more.
And it's a demand issue. They don't supply them, so people feel like they're coveted.
Exactly. Their production is very controlled. So the fact that they're overtaking LVMH, which they're just going to sell as many bags as they can, maybe that says something to the consumer who is still able to buy.
One of my daughters was telling me, I think to get one of those Hermes bags, you have to sign up and you have to get vetted by Hermes.
Yes, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
They have to like
ridiculous.
you.
The cost of making one is only $1,500, and they sell them for $35,000. If you go into Goyard with a fake bag of any kind, they make you put it in a brown paper sack. I'm just letting
they
you know.
shame you.
Wow.
And Meghan Markle had a fake Goyard.
People do this voluntarily? They pay for this?